I'd like to talk a little bit about the difference between classical meditation and hypno meditation. I've done both, and currently I work with hypno meditation. First, classical meditation. Classical meditation is based on the idea that if we can begin to settle down, quieting our thoughts, we're going to connect to an infinite source of stillness inside of us. And it is incredibly powerful and a wonderful tool for finding a more peaceful life, having a more awakened life. Hypno meditation is a little bit different. What I have found over the years is that if you have anxiety, if you have attention and focus issues, if you have deep traumas, then classical meditation is really hard to do, if not impossible, and people wind up quitting. Hypno meditation is a way that we engage with ourselves, so it's a little more interactive. And so I'm going to break it down for you. In hypno meditation, we are trained to access our unconscious through the hypnotic state, which happens through me and my voice, or any hypnotherapist and their voice. We use our voice and our language to quiet the conscious mind, in some ways even confuse the conscious mind so that you have access to the deep unconscious. Why do we need access to the deep unconscious? Because inside of the deep unconscious is where our traumas live, our triggers live, and the understandings of them. So our traumas and triggers will, although first created to help us in some way, they were really created as coping mechanisms, have now begun to blow up our lives and showing up as addictions, relationship issues, issues with money, self-esteem issues, the whole long list, yeah? When I am able to go inside and have a conversation with my deepest self, with love and compassion in a safe environment, I am able to understand where they came from, why they're there. And these are essentially splintered off parts of ourself. So at some point in our life, something happened to us that we were not in agreement with. And so in order to cope with it, we have splintered off from the wholeness. So you were never born this way. You were born whole, and some life event happened, a big life event or a small life event, that made you feel like something had to change. You were not able to cope as you were, and you splinter off. These splinters are trying to gain our attention, essentially by blowing up our lives. So what we're able to do in hypno meditation is have a conversation with them, understand their motivation, understand their fears. They are part of us, but they are also separate from us in some ways. And so we have to reach out from our wholeness, our deep unconscious, and bring them back into the fold. This is what we do in hypno meditation. We begin to develop that relationship. We begin to learn how to go deep and have a conversation with ourselves and get the answers from inside, not from outside in the world, but from somewhere inside of us. In my 30 years of practice, I have found that it has helped so many people. So many people overcome deep trauma, find a life that they've always believed they should live, which is a life of happiness and contentment. I can tell you right now, with complete honesty, that there is no one on this planet that was meant to suffer, that we were meant truly to be born into joy and love and compassion and contentment. And I have seen hypno meditation help people return to that state, that natural state of being. If you can look around you at the infinite nature of our planet and then put that up against our individual suffering, That just doesn't make sense, does it? To be suffering in such beauty. There must be a way out. And Hypno Meditation, I have found, is one of the ways to help us out and allow us long-term joy, peace, and contentment.